Good morning, Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us back here at Vegas Realty Check, local Las Vegas real estate news. I'm Trish Williams.
And I'm Tiana Carroll. Welcome back this Thursday morning, Vegas. This beautiful spring Thursday morning.
Beautiful spring. The weather is so good.
The weather is so good. It is so beautiful out just all week. I'm loving it.
Can it stay like this forever? This is my favorite weather.
Yeah, and it's sort of my favorite target too. I love it between like 72 and 90 degrees, like the hottest 90, and that's what it's getting in the afternoon. But it is beautiful outside today.
It is beautiful. Welcome to Las Vegas, newcomers.
Yeah,
you want to come visit now?
Yeah. We got pool weather going on right now.
Pool weather has started.
Yeah, which is good because you love the pool.
Absolutely. So, and also, when we're showing homes, when it gets hot, like once we get more into the next month or so.
Yeah, once we're over 105, forget it.
When we're showing homes and there's a pool on the property, it's like instant. I want this now.
Yeah, this sale, I'll take this one. This one, it's so hot. I never want to be in this heat without a pool.
Yeah.
And it has been nice getting into the pool.
Yeah, very nice. So this week, what do we got for inventory? And we didn't really, nothing major going on in the news. The airport's underway.
The new one?
New airport is underway. Some other random little stories.
Like F1 tickets are for sale, and they decided to implode the Tropicana, and
same old
news. Nothing big happened this week in real estate news.
Not much. We had a little bit of a spike in rates.
We did.
The Fed said that they're not going to be doing any reductions in rates anytime soon, but they haven't announced raising the Fed rate, so that's good.
Yeah.
Even though we did see a little bit of spike this last week. Inflation has to be under control for them to do any adjustments.
And it's not.
And this is the world we live in right now, people. Sorry.
Yeah. I had a phone call yesterday, and I was cracking up because they're telling me all of the interest rates are high, and the inventory's low and all of this stuff, and I'm just listening. I'm like, yeah. You don't have to tell me the world's on fire. I'm right here. I'm in the middle of it.
We are here. We are seeing it. And it is having an effect right now on activity because our spring activity, in my opinion, is very soft.
It is very soft, except for when we actually get through these numbers. The under contract was kind of impressive.
Under contract was good. And our inventory still, dropping a bit.
But, let's do those numbers so everybody knows what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So active homes on the market right now in single family residence.
3,340.
All right.
It is just hovering right there at 3,300.
Yep. And again, we say it over and over again. That is what's holding your values, people. So
that's what's holding your value and the market, because if we ended up any lower, it's going to be like it was it last spring we had 2,200 homes on the market?
I think that was 22.
Dang. Did I lose a year already?
Lost a year, yeah.
Okay, so on a side note, I know I'm interrupting numbers for this, but on a side note, I heard this interesting TED Talk the other day talking about, how I always say time is just going so fast. Time is just going so fast. Each year is going faster and faster. They were talking about the study that it was all about neuroplasticity and stuff. And they were talking about how if your days are mundane and you're doing the same thing over and over again, it's like your brain's just deleting that day. Like, okay, that was boring. And that's why time feels like it's going faster. So it takes forever when you're a kid because everything's new and exciting, and the days last longer and the months and years, and then as you get older it goes in fast forward because of basically the monotony of life.
Yeah, it becomes Groundhog Day every day.
Yeah. So I'll be taking on all sorts of new activities in my life because I do not want to be in fast forward.
Right. That's a great idea. I feel like we always have new things in real estate.
So just, I guess it does have to do with real estate. There are new things. I mean, we're going to go through a big shift come July on how we do things. Not me, because everything that everybody's saying they're going to do now, I'm like, wait, isn't that the way we always did it?
Yeah.
But maybe there'll be some changes.
Yeah. So that whatever settlement got, initially the initial signatures on it. They're saying it's going to be implemented towards the end of the year, but we're going to start seeing the changes starting in July.
Oh, well, I think we're already starting to see changes. It just in the way that, just the conversations that I'm having with agents, they are changing themselves from their old mindset to the new mindset that this has to be done. And everybody was like freaking out in the beginning, like, oh no, we have to do this now.
But well, it's a train. Get on board or get off, you know? So it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no say so in it really at this point. But the changes that are going to be like physical that we're going to see is the MLS is going to change come July. It's going to remove those co-ops completely from being able to be seen at all.
Yeah, there'll be no co-op box.
Yeah. So,
And that's it.
really, that's all that's going to happen. You know, things are going to be put into practice. I've seen a lot of headlines about, to see one house now, you have to sign a buyer's brokerage agreement. And yes, you do. And
you should have been doing that in the past, right?
We wish that everybody was doing that in the past.
Or at least a duties owed, establish some sort of agency.
Well, and there should be a buyer's brokerage agreement. I mean, of course, you can always cancel the agreement. Agreements can have different terms if you choose that agent is the one that you want to work with. But there's some agreement for that house that they showed you, and there should have been, because I know that there's been times in the past where buyers, I don't know, their agent was maybe busy or something, so they called any agent that would come open the door for them, and then that agent came and opened the door, and then they called the agent that they liked, and they were like, hey,
we
I want to make an offer on this house.
I just saw it with another agent. Will you write the offer?
Right. That was not fair. That was unethical, and it happened a lot. That's gone away.
Yeah.
Because that agreement's going to protect that agent that showed them that house for that purpose. So there's good things coming out of this.
Yeah, but that was the way it was before. Like, that was taught to me in school.
It should have been taught to all of us.
You don't want your client walking into an open house, meeting another agent, showing a house down the block that's also vacant, and boom, they're in contract, and you didn't have a duties owed or a buyer brokerage, so you weren't part of the procuring cause, and no money for you.
Yeah, so it's good. I think it will just help us all out. So back to numbers. How many did we sell last week?
All right, we sold 430.
Okay.
So that was a good week, considering that the stock really didn't change. So anything that's coming on the market is just balancing off what's being sold right now, except the under contracts make me nervous. They keep ticking up.
Yeah. And price reductions are at 387.
Indeed. Those seem to be ticking down a little this week.
Yeah. And the under contract, as you mentioned,
722.
Good job, Vegas.
Yeah. So business is definitely happening here.
Yeah.
And it does feel like a slower spring than what we've had in recent years, because 2021, 22 springs were all nuts. Apparently, I forgot 23. I just deleted that whole year.
We
didn't need that one.
Nothing great happened there.
Well, I have to say the first half of 23, I think in my mind is still part of 22, because I actually had a great year in 23. We had those rates change or whatever at the end, so it made it slow, but it gave me some much needed time off. So whoop whoop.
Yeah. 23 was, overall looking back, I think it was a good year. Last quarter was tough.
Yeah, the last quarter of 23 was.
Yeah, very tough market. Everybody's businesses were down substantially. Mine was down a bit, but not quite at the same volume that other people's were down. Yours was up from what it was traditionally.
Yeah.
So I guess it's how you navigate. I was talking to somebody else about this the other day. It's how you navigate through the issues, because there's so many times when people in general, not just real estate agents, but just people, when they run across obstacles and issues, they just, bury their head in the sand and say, wake me up when it's all over. Right?
I don't know if that actually works. That's probably a terrible plan.
It's a terrible strategy, but people do that. That's the default for so many people, is to just, when they see challenges and things come across, they just say, no. I just, tell me about it when, wake me up when it's over. And I feel like the agents that actually just said, okay, we have challenges and now we're going to have to work harder or work different or work however to get through these and didn't really have that fear about navigating through it, kept their heads above water in this whole, environment that we've been in. So,
yeah, well, I think being pretty fearless in everything is a benefit. I think that if you're hiding in fear, then, or not recognizing it, like when an obstacle presents itself, I just want to face it head on and get through it.
Yeah, that's usually like my thing. I'm like, okay, there's a challenge. Now I got to figure out how to overcome it instead of like backing away. But we've seen that back in COVID, which, gosh, that was almost 5 years ago now. But it feels like it was just like yesterday. But I guess it was 4 years technically. But I'm going to say almost 5 because we're past the 4-year mark. But that.
But we're not until June. That's halfway in the year.
Yeah. So. But when everything shut down, I remember when, in COVID, when everything shut down and people were just panicking. And I remember agents, some like really good agents that I knew that were like, I just can't do any business. All my buyers lost their jobs. Everybody got laid off. I can't do anything. And like, whatever. Like they just gave up. Like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I remember when it first shut down, I was working in the Green Valley going to the Green Valley office, and nobody was coming into. We were essential workers, so you could come to the office or you could stay home. But there were so many people and some really high producers that were just acting like the world was over. Yeah. And then all of a sudden,
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my assistant at the time was a super introvert. You remember?
Yeah, I remember
Shelby. Shout out Shelby. She loved that time because she was like the only one in the office.
She's like, this is exactly how I want my life.
No one's bothering me. This is wonderful. So yeah.
Yeah, no, there was literally 4 or 5 people in the office on any given day, and 3 of them were on my team.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
just like, okay, nobody was coming to the office. Everybody thought the world was ending, but real estate went bananas. It took off. There was sales after, 2020, 2021. Whew, that was a roller coaster of fun.
And during that time, I remember capitalizing on like more business that was like not most of my business is sphere of influence, referrals, past clients, and people that are somewhere in my world or referred from people in my world. And that's,
like everybody out there listening to us now, you're in our world.
Yeah, and that's just traditionally the majority of the business that I do. During that year, I did so many, unmet business.
Right.
Because people were calling me, at that time, Zillow had like an option you could add on your profile that said like, are you still showing homes? Because so many people weren't.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. So I updated my Zillow profile. I was like, yeah, I'm still selling homes. And I got so many just like calls like, we want to look at homes and no one's showing them. Can you help us? And I was like, wow, I'll take this business. So yeah. So made a lot of good new connections and added more people to that past client sphere of influence, all of that business. So that was great.
Yeah, no, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So, we got sidetracked with the whole fast forward of life and pandemic. But we're going to reel it in and be back on track to our listener questions that have been sent in to us. We have 3 awesome questions today from Betty, Jonathan, and Leon.
All right, let's start with Betty. And I feel like we talked about this last week.
I feel they were similar, close, but let's just go. Let's go
Betty, with it. Hey, if you did not tune in last week, we are addressing your question right now. So someone told Betty that multifamily homes can be bought with a first-time homebuyer program, and she wants to know, is that still available, and how does it work?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes, and how it works is you go and you can go and get your loan, and they take about 75% the fourplex that you're buying. You have to be owner occupied in 1 unit, so you can't just buy it and not live there. You have to be occupied in 1 unit, and then they take the other units and they have to make up 75% of what the mortgage will be once they're rented out.
Yes, absolutely. So that can be purchased. And when we talk multifamily, so the multifamilies that can be purchased are less than 6 units. So it could be a duplex, it could be a triplex, it could be a fourplex. The additional rent income can be used towards your debt to income ratio to help you qualify for the overall payment. Numbers do have to pan out.
Yep.
And
they have to have positive cash flow.
Positive cash flow. You do have to occupy one of the units, but it will still be an FHA loan. And if you buy it as an owner occupant and use that service, so that is a huge benefit. And I think one of the things that people aren't aware of that is possible, there are some down payment assistance programs that will actually that you can use with these multifamily unit purchases.
Yeah. I have a client. He's such a cool kid. He's young family. Now he's got 2 little baby girls. And back in the beginning of the pandemic, I think it was like maybe April, May of 2020, he bought a triplex. And he lived in one unit, and as the tenants finished their lease, he'd remodel those units and he'd switch units, and he got them all done. He was there for his 2 years, which was the owner-occupant contingency for the plan that he used, because he used a down payment assistance plan on that. And then he was able to use the equity from that house and purchase a single-family house when his second daughter was born.
Yes.
And that's all in a matter of 4 years, and he is a young man, 25 years old, and he's doing amazing.
Yeah, it is a great first-time purchase. But one of the things that I think that I wonder about, which I guess confuses me in Vegas, why are they not building more of them? Because what the multifamily units that we see
Okay, so this
here,
is a rabbit hole that I don't want to get into now, but you can send an email to Vegas Realty Check and .gmail, right? Is that it? .vegas. Wait, realtycheck.vegas. That's where you send your questions. And if you want to hear about this thing, then send in some information and I'll go. But there are certain laws and stuff preventing townhomes and things. It's
multifamily, not townhomes.
Well, yeah, multifamily units
where you own the entire building.
Right, where you own the building.
Okay, so I didn't know there was laws regarding that. But,
on what they can build. So they're not just erecting them in the way that they can just erect like an apartment or whatever. It's a different zoning. And then I don't know if it's a capita. I have notes on it. And I was just shocked when I first took the course on how it didn't make sense, especially in an economy like this, where we need things like condos, townhomes, multifamily units to help people get into their first time home buy.
Yeah. And it seems like most of the ones that are in the valley were built before 1980.
Right.
Yeah.
So they tend to be older. And there's places around the country that have a plethora of that type of property.
Oh, yeah.
We're just not that community. Like I get people, especially from California, who, and you'll see like all the YouTube ads, like buy a fourplex, live in one unit, rent free, and then have the building pay for itself. And that's great. And if you're in a place that you can do it, or you're willing to take one of the 1980 and older homes here, or multi-unit homes here, then that's a great option for you. But people calling from other places, like from the South and from California, and they're like, I want to buy 4 fourplexes. I'm like, good luck finding 4.
Yeah. And a lot of like the things that we have here that are zoned multifamily, like condos, townhouses, are you can only buy single unit. I mean, you could buy 4 units if you want, but that's
right.
4 purchases. So.
Yeah, 4 separate purchases, not taking a block of them.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in all the details on that, that's not this question. Let us know, and we'll get to that and get you all the information you need for that. And they do happen in the valley, and like I've said, I've had clients successfully do it, and it works out. Now, most of the time when I sell multi-units like that, they're usually investors.
Yeah. So the fourplexes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the few times I've done them has all been owner-occupant,
nice.
not investors. Yeah.
So I'm the opposite. I have all investors except for twice. One time was a nightmare, but the other one with the young kid, he was great.
Yeah. Mine have been owner-occupants that have purchased those. But yeah. So the next question is Jonathan.
All right. What, Jonathan?
Speaking of investors.
Yeah, he says, I wanted to pull equity out of my house and buy an investment property. Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's different ways of doing it?
Yeah. If you have equity in your house, there's a certain percentage that you have to do that refi to pull it out. And I believe it's as long as you have more than 25% equity, you can do that.
Cash out refi?
Cash out refi. And there's a questionnaire that they'll have you fill out that asks what you're using the money for. But it doesn't matter.
Right.
I've never
it could be
seen
college
a situation.
Fund, vacation home, boat, jet ski, remodel, like whatever.
Yeah, I've never seen a situation where they said no because you can't use it for that reason. So I wonder why they even asked, but maybe it just has to be documented.
Yeah, I think it's just information.
Yeah.
Information.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely getting either a HELOC or a cash out equity can be helpful for you to get an investment property. Now, the only thing I did want to tell, whose question was that?
That's Jonathan, yeah.
Okay, so the only thing I wanted to let Jonathan know, he said cash out equity to buy an investment property. So if you're going to buy that investment property, then you can do that. But what about keeping the house that you're already in as the investment and then using that as the rental and then moving on to another house? Because then you could just do a 5% down and get a conventional loan.
Yeah, and do it, get another mortgage that way.
Right, on the new property.
Yeah, but the money that you pull out from the home will raise the mortgage payment.
It will.
Of course, so you just have to make sure that the rental income can cover the new payment, and there's a formula and plans, and we can look at, give an analysis of what that would look like too, and the lender's going to verify that through rent rolls, and they do rental comps in situations like that to make sure that it would all make sense.
Right. So if that's something that you're interested in, there's a couple ways to skin a cat depending upon which property you want to occupy.
Yeah, and if you're pulling the money out to use it as a cash purchase on the next home, that's great. Depends on the amount of equity you have. Right. If you're pulling the money out to use as a down payment on the next home, that's great as well. But also the lender will need to review to make sure debt to income ratio and all that stuff pans out with the new money, the new payment, the new everything.
Yeah, lenders, I don't know what it is. They just love to know that you can make the payments. They're like, we're going to get paid back, right?
Well,
that's
when you borrow money, you should be paying it back. But
yes, you should.
That is.
Speaking of which, I got some people in the past who still owe me money. You know who you are?
Yeah.
Get me my money.
Yeah, get it. All right. So next question is Leon.
Leon, can I use extra money on my mortgage loan to pay remodeling of the house I'm buying? So this one I just giggled. Right? Because my only question is, what's extra money? Can I get extra money? Where's my
I want the extra money.
I didn't know they gave extra money. This is news to me, Leon. What's the extra money?
So I know, right? So I'm assuming, and I've heard the same question multiple times, if this is the question Leon's asking, which was a little vague the way he asked it, right?
Well, I just don't think that he just used the right terminology. I think go ahead and say what you're saying, and I'll say what I think he was asking.
What I've had a lot of buyers ask, which I think is what Leon's getting at, is like, say they were approved at $500,000.
Right.
Okay. And they found a home that is $475,000.
Yeah.
And they say, can I still get my loan for $500,000 and use that extra $25,000 to remodel or to do things?
Right. And this is very common, especially in first-time home buyer mindsets.
Right. So I think that's what Leon's asking.
I think that's what he's asking too.
If that is what he's asking, the answer is no, but...
Big hard no.
Big hard no, but there is a program out there. There's a couple little programs out there that are not well known on renovation loans. They're called, and I can't even think of the name of them now because they're so rare, but they're available.
Well, I know renovation loans.
No, it's not 401k. That's an investment. It's called
retirement.
50. It's something with a number.
There's a number in there. Okay, well, keep describing, and then because I don't know what the number you're talking about is.
So it's a renovation loan. So first-time home buyers can qualify for this. You can get it on a conventional product as well. Every loan program, FHA, VA, and conventional have this program.
Right.
And I was about to say 501c3, and that's not it either.
Just quit giving it
some
names.
Numbers.
Let's just call it
the program, the renovation
the
program
that the mortgage are selling.
I will find out the number for it. I know it. I just can't think of it right now. But this program is out there, and you can, if you qualify for it, you have to work with the lender to make sure that you qualify because it's a different pre-approval than your traditional pre-approval. You have to get pre-approved for this program.
Right.
And if you do buy it, so they would say in the same 500,000 scenario, they would say, yes, you're qualified up to 500,000. if you find a home that's $475 and you're going to want to do renovations and fixing up to it,
okay,
then we will give you the loan at $500,000, but we need a list and some estimates from the contractor. This is all done during the process of the financing.
Right.
They want to see contractor estimates and a list of repairs that are going to be done. And then at the time that the appraiser goes in, the appraiser has to go in and verify that those upgrades are going to make that value at the purchase price.
Right, because lenders don't lend more money than what a home is worth.
Right.
Period.
So it is an option. It's out there, and that can even be a secondary option for, sometimes we see homes that are not FHA eligible and things like that because there are certain repairs that are necessary that won't make it pass for an FHA approval.
Right.
These renovation loans can make you eligible to purchase those properties.
Yes.
If all of the numbers pan out. So it is a secondary option that there is. It's a little more challenging. It's a longer. I would never recommend to try to do a 30-day close on those type of loans.
You got to give time.
Yeah, you want to go.
Because there's so many more moving parts when you're bringing in the appraiser and contractors and stuff.
Yeah, you want to do like a minimum 45-day start to close, and you want to make sure your appraisal contingency is a little bit longer. I would recommend a longer due diligence so you can get estimates. Like there's definitely some moving parts you have to keep into consideration, but it is a renovation loan and there are products available for that.
Yeah, and I do like that the renovation loan is available in the different products. So if it's an FHA or conventional VA.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know, they're just not marketed much.
But they're not marketed much. There is going to be one, I think it's next month, there's going to be a lender in town who is going to be talking about these construction loans because they are getting a lot of cash out refi right now, which that's the market that we're in. People are just want their place that they're living to be the nicest because nobody's really putting it on the market. So anyway, that was a conversation that I had with the lender that they said they were going to be doing an entire course on that part of the new products available. So I'm excited about that.
Years ago, we had WAFED come in. We had the branch manager at WAFED come in here. And they do, which we got to get them back again. I'll reach out. But they do a product, which they still have. And WAFED just came out with a new down payment assistance program, too, which is good. It's kind of a better option from home as possible. But WAFED has a product that they can take the equity from your primary residence, and you can take that equity and use it towards a construction loan, but you don't, it's kind of used as a refi, but it's a temporary refi to help you like with the purchase and get everything started, but there's like a time frame on it, so you have this much time to get started. It rolls over into a construction loan, and then you can still sell that house. So
the primary that you were in.
Yeah, the primary that you were in. Once your construction gets to a certain stage, so it's like this kind of hybrid thing.
Oh, and yes,
yeah.
I was talking to somebody about that because they were looking at land and they wanted to build, and they were sort of in that.
Yeah, so
weird space. Like I want to build, but I don't want to leave my house or sell it until I'm here. How are we going to do that?
Yeah, so they can use it. They put a time frame on it. They can use the equity to help you start the build, the build, and get started on that. And that's a really good option. And they also have another option that you can use the equity from your current home to help with the purchase, down payment, and qualification on the next home before you sell it. And again, there's time frames. So they have a lot of outside of the box hybrid models.
Yeah, and that's the thing with any kind of financing and buying or anything, there's more, and I said it twice if I say it again, this episode, and I hate the expression, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. So if remodeling, building from new, anything that you're thinking of doing in any kind of real estate realm, definitely reach out and give us a call, and we can sort of navigate you to the right sort of lending product that might be able to help you, and to a lender that would be versed in this specific category, and they tell you, hey, this would be the best product for you, this would be this, and we can help you. How do they get a hold of you if they need to talk to you?
My cell phone number is the best way to reach me, 702-308-2878. And Tiana, how do people reach you?
Yeah, if you want to give me a call, we could talk about some options for you. I'm at 702-379-9948. Call or text me.
Yes, and please send more listener questions. We
Yes,
are
we
running
love that.
low on them. I think we have like maybe 20 left.
Hey, we don't want 20. So realtycheck.vegas. I don't know why I put the Vegas Realty Check just because it's the name of the show. Realtycheck.vegas is where you send those listener questions to.
Yes.
And we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, and you can like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about our show. We love the followers, love the interaction. So reach out to us at any time. You can even reach out to us individually if you want to text us your listener questions, call us, tell us about it, and we will answer them live here on the show.
We absolutely will. We appreciate you so much. Thanks for being part of the tribe, and we'll be back next Thursday. See you guys. Have a
Thanks,
good
guys.
week.
Bye.
Bye.